Hello, and welcome back to Thomas Talks. You join me behind the wheel of the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Highland Dual Motor Long Range. Now, this is been kindly supplied by Tesla UK themselves, so I'm very honoured that they've trusted me with this car for the week to kind of review and see what's happening. And what we're going to be doing is giving you a quick kind of like test drive and showing you what the car is like. I'm currently sitting in the city centre. The one takeaway I've learned quite quickly in this car is one pedal driving. It's crazy how quickly your mind gets used to it. You don't even have to push the brake, you just take your foot off the gas or the accelerator, the car slows down, and the car's got all these sensors and technology to consistently keep you safe and prevent you crashing in front of you. And I just think it's just quite a clever feeling, like it's one pedal driving, but Tesla have really knacked it. Like I really like what they're doing. This Model 3 does not have any stalks or columns at all, so no wipers, no indicators, no gear selector is on the columns. It's all either in the screen or your indicators now, a little touch capacitive buttons on the steering wheel, a little bit like what you might see in a Ferrari, which if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you in your Tesla. When you're indicating, it pulls up the blind spot camera on the pillars, and the camera in front of me is reading the taxis indicating left, and it's coming up on my diagram here as well. It's worth noting that this car doesn't have parking sensors in traditional sense. Uses those cameras to kind of give you a heat map of when you're parking. And at first I was a bit nervous about that, but actually it's totally fine. It just kind of works in the same way. It's just a different technology and application. Aerodynamically, this car has a drag coefficient of 0.219, which is lower than the outgoing model, and that's half thanks to the sleeker front end, sleeker headlights. There's no fog lights in this car at the front, and I think the wheels as well have been designed, and the 18-inch wheels have been more aerodynamically designed. I'm on the 19-inch Nova wheels today, and I have not seen anything in the press about what's changed there. So we do have two new colours, which I think there's a nice metallic red, which I think is called infrared in the UK, and stealth grey is this colour that I'm in, which is a £2,000 option. I think both of them are. From memory, I think the blue option's like £1,500, but don't quote me on that, but I know the grey's 2,000 because that's what I'm in. And the wheels I mentioned, the Nova wheels, are £1,500 as well for them. That's the car reading a car on WL lines and thought it was going to crash into it, but that was that car's fault. The car's continuously scanning, so it's crazy because you're seeing things like the pedestrians pop up and all that. Being a ground up EV, space in here is fantastic. So we've got a front boot, a fruit if you want to call it. In the rear we've got an 8-inch touchscreen for the rear passengers to be entertained, and there is no load floor in terms of like a transmission hump, so you can get comfortable back there, easily get 3 adults or maybe 2 children with the big chairs and go and put the armrest down. Whatever it may be, it's a great car. It's really spacious considering the size of it, and the boot in this car is huge. Like everybody I've shown this car to is blown away with how big the boot is. Like I never realised how deep it was. Like I recently drove the Polestar 2 and that was big, and this car is even bigger with the boot. It's crazy. So if you carry luggage or items like golf clubs, golf bags, whatever it may be, big things, somebody who's carrying scuba diving equipment, this car is going to be good for that. On the rear of the car, you're going to notice it now says Tesla across the back. There's no Tesla badge, and we've got one-piece tail lights. So when you lift up the boot, it lifts up now, and there's little lights on the bumper just for regulations. But that's the kind of main takeaway you're going to notice from the back. I said the front, you're going to notice the headlights. Maybe you'll notice the new colours. The big changes are on the inside. So we've got cooled seats, which is going to be great for the driver and the front passenger. We do have mood lighting in the car as well, which adds a little bit of ambience to the car at night, which the previous Tesla did not. Aforementioned 8-inch touchscreen in the back for rear passengers to be entertained. Up front, we've got a lot of Tesla things, which is just too much to cover in one video, but we do have easy access for buttons for your cameras, to your songs, your phone, your climate. All your wipers and your mirror controls, seat controls are all controlled there inside this central screen. You get used to it quite quickly. The main big difference for me was when you're selecting drive and reverse, you're literally swiping up and down, which is a little bit of a change for me, but out with that, it's quite an easy thing to get used to. It took me literally, I think, myself like 8 minutes to get used to that. But I've really enjoyed my time with this Tesla. Like, it's got a great like steering rack on it, like the steering's, I call it steering rack, but a steering ratio is probably better because it's not got a rack. The driving on it is really cool, and yeah, like I was just really impressed with how well it steers, and it's really direct in terms of the turning. Radius as well doesn't get enough mention online, so I'm going to mention it here, that the turning radius is great. And I'm just reversing to parking space. You can see a blue Tesla beside me there, and it gives you like a drop down view of the technology. You know, like some cars stitch cameras together, like to pick them together to give you like a bird's eye view. This is like giving you a greyed out look, but it's quite effective, and it's picking up the cone behind me as well, which is nice. This is a really good size for UK roads. You know, I often think like some cars are just getting too big for parking spaces and where we're living. And if you're in the UK, this is a really great size as well, just for like everyday parking. There is a Tesla app worth mentioning as well, but I didn't have access to that or didn't use that. I've just been using a little kind of credit card thing that Tesla gave me. But all in all, really impressed. It's got a better built interior, more premium feeling. I like the way it drives. The autopilot stuff's really great in the motorway, but please check out my Cars of Glasgow review if you want to see a full car review of this car. I wanted to just give you a quick, almost 7-minute video now on Thomas Talks of what this car's like. But yeah, you can get it in various colours. You get white or black interior, still 2 options. And I wouldn't overlook it just because it doesn't look too different on the outside if you are considering a Tesla. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks again to Tesla UK for loaning me this car, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching Thomas Talks. Ciao.